Fall 7 times, stand up on the eighth. Do not let failure upset your plans for a brighter tomorrow. So keep trying unless you succeed. With this thought, I will start this video. Okay? I hope you all are doing fine. Do you remember what we did in our last class, in our last video? I'll help you to recollect. We read about the power of words, how ordinary becomes extraordinary, and how the usage of a few words makes a story more interesting. We read about the story of this ordinary boy, his day when he goes into the school, and his extraordinary teacher, Mr. Ghee, how he compels the kids to write a story by just listening to music, how it helps in broadening their imagination power. Okay, we also learned the usage of adjectives before and after a noun. All right, and then we had two settings. We had to read a story from a cartoon strip. You had to uh, see the differences, you know, uh, see the differences between two pictures and relate the pictures with various adjectives. We also read about characters like Lian, Juan, Asibi, okay, how the character is like. We explored their characters and I gave you a task to write the details of the characters of Juan and Asibi. I hope you all did that. So coming to today's lesson, we will learn about verbs today. Okay, let me focus on the language part today. Now, a sentence always contain a verb. There is no sentence without a verb. No verb, no sentence. It makes no meaning. So let us have a look at what we mean by the word verb. Verbs tell us what we are doing. You know, verb is a word which tell what is being done at a particular time. Okay, it can be a doing word, it can be a being word or having word. Okay, so let me give you a few examples. So verbs are the words which denote action or a state of being. Okay, we'll see to this through a few examples. Yesterday morning she walked to school. Okay, when did this happen? Yesterday morning. This is a sentence. Yesterday morning she walked to school. When did it happen? I said a verb also tells the time when it happened. Yesterday morning. Okay. Now what is the doing thing over here? What is the action that is denoted? She walked to school. Okay. What is the tense here? Past tense. Yesterday morning she walked to school. So it's being spoken in the past tense. Next, every morning she walks to school. This is a sentence. When? Now you'll ask me when. A verb, a sentence, you know, it also denotes the time. The verb denotes the time when that verb takes place. Every morning. When? Every morning. What? She walks to school. What is being done here? She walks to school. This is the verb. Okay. In which tense are we speaking here? Present tense. Every morning she walks to school. Okay. Present tense. It's happening now. It happens on an everyday basis. So it's present tense. Next. Tomorrow morning she will walk to school. When? Tomorrow morning. She will walk to school. This is the doing verb. This is future tense. It has been said in the future tense. Okay, tomorrow morning she will walk to the school. Tomorrow, you know. So here the underlined words are the verbs. Okay. Now, as I said, a sentence must have a verb, begin with a capital verb, capital letter, end with a full stop, question mark or an exclamation mark, and it should make sense. Okay. And I also said that, you know, any doing verb, it can be called as a doing verb or a being word or a having word. All right. So let us see a few examples, and you will get to know, the differences of having a verb in a sentence and making sense, and in the sentences where there is no verb, which makes no sense. Because I said, if there is no verb, there is no sentence. All right. Number one, the cute kittens. Is it a statement? Does it have a verb? No. So it's not a statement. Where is the verb in this sentence? The cute kittens. So it doesn't carry a meaning. It's just a phrase. The cute kittens. Okay. So it's not a statement. So I give a cross. This is not a sentence. She whispered to her friend. Now, is this a sentence? Yes. Why? Because it has a verb. The verb is whispered. Okay. So it has a verb. So this is a sentence, right? It ends with a full stop as well. I love chocolate. Is it a sentence? Yes. Why? The word love is a verb. It's a doing thing. I love chocolate. So this is a sentence. Some dangerous sharks. Is it a statement? No. Why? It doesn't have a verb. So this is not a statement. Okay. Now we come to the different forms of a verb. Okay, a verb is used in different forms in sentences. Let's have a look. Here we will find the different forms of have and underline them. Okay. Number one, see, sharks have sharp teeth. So I underlined have. Number two, I had a toy like that when I was little. Where is this word have here? It's had a toy. This is a different form of the word have. Different form of the verb have. This is I had. Okay. Now next, she is having a violin lesson at the moment. So the form of the word have here is having. Next, she has no front teeth at the moment. Here the form of the word have is has. So you see various form of the word have here itself. One is have, one is had. When I say have, it's in the present tense. Had, past tense. Having, present tense. Present continuous. We will deal with this later on. Has is also present tense. Okay. So these are various forms of the verb have. We can also go deeper into various forms of various verbs. Okay, this was just an example. Now let me tell you a story. This is a story of a little girl called Grace. The name of the story is Amazing Grace. Okay, imagine a little girl like you who loves stories. Okay, in any form, be it taken from the tales which her grandfather used to say at one point of time, be it relating to the present times. Some stories used to be read out, some stories simply bedtime stories. There used to be some stories which she used to read out. She loved every form of them. Okay, and interesting thing is what she used to do, while the story is being read to her or being told to her, she used to enact the story, playing the character which interests her the most. Mostly she would give her the most interesting part of the story and she would enact it. So one day what happened is, in her school the teacher said that we will act out the play of Peter Pan. She immediately raised her hand and she said, I want to be Peter Pan. So her friends, Raj, he said that you can't be Peter Pan because Peter is a boy and you're a girl. Natalie, one more friend, she said, how can you play Peter Pan? Peter Pan is not dark as you. You're a dark girl. How can you play the role of a white character? Everybody wanted to play the role of Peter Pan. So the teacher said, okay, we'll call for auditions. Let's see who makes it to the role. So Grace went back home, she was little upset with what went in the class, the comments she had pouring from her friends. When her mummy asked her, what happened? What happened in the school? Grace, she said, today the teacher said we will enact a play called the Peter Pan. Then her mom said, oh really? That's good. But Grace seemed rather, upset. On seeing her upset, mom asked, what's the matter? Then Grace said, but Raj said I can play the role of Peter Pan because he's a boy, the character is a boy. Then mom says that then I would say that Raj knows nothing about the character. Peter Pan is a girl. In order to cheer her up, mom says these things. But yet Grace was still sulking. Then her mom asked her, why are you still sulking? What happened? Grace said, but Natalie said that I can play the role of a white character. I am dark and the character is white. It's a white character. I can't play the role. At this, the mom got furious, but Nana stopped her. Mom said that, now this is a problem with Natalie. She is also wrong. You can play any character, be it white, dark, doesn't matter. You can play any character. Okay. Here the story ends. The story Amazing Grace, written by Mary Hoffman. It ends here. Now, you know the story, right? You go through your book. Okay. The story has been numbered. The passages of the story has been numbered in order to make your storytelling easy. Okay. Now, we will explore the story. Let us look at a few points out here. Explore the meaning of the story. Discuss the last phrase of the extract if you put your mind to it. What do you think it means? What do you think it means if you put your mind to it? Means if you think about it, if you go deep into it, okay? Does Nana see that Grace could be Peter Pan? Does Nana say that Grace could be Peter Pan? Yeah? Why not? Of course, Grace could be Peter Pan. This is what Nana meant. You can be anything. You can play the character. You should imbibe the traits. Then it doesn't matter. It's a boy or a girl, a dark or light. Alright? Next. What did Grace like the most? So, as I said, Grace simply loved stories. She liked to enact the interesting parts of the stories. What was going to happen in school? Next, which part did Grace want to be? As I said, she wanted to play the interesting roles, the interesting character, the interesting part of the story. Why was Grace sad when she got home? You know why she was sad? Because of the conversations that happened in the school that made her sad. People, her friends discouraged her. Okay, that made her sad. What do we know about Grace, Ma and Nana? Here you can have your own analysis. Okay, each one of you can have a different pictures of these three characters, Grace, Nana and Grace's mom. What are the settings? Clearly there are two settings in the story. One is Grace's home and the school. Okay, where the story takes place in two parts, Grace's home and school. Next, how do you think the story will finish? Give your reasons. This is an open-ended story again. You may have, you may design your own ending. We may say that after having said that, Grace was little upset about what happened in her school and how she was discouraged by her friends. Her mom and Nana kept on cheering her. I can say Grace got encouraged, okay, and she went back to her school the next day and she said, I want to play the role, whatever be it, I want to give it a shot. And she gets selected in the audition. She finally ends up playing the role of the Peter Pan. Okay, to which Natalie, Raj, her friends, they are surprised. Okay, and Grace does a lovely job playing the character. She does total justice to the character of Peter Pan. Okay, this is my way of ending the story. You can have your own. Anything can happen. So talk about the ending of the story. How you want to finish it. Next, what is the theme, the main idea of the story? Well, see children, as the story unfolds, we see a bunch of children discouraging their friend because she is dark. This is not how things would be, right? You can be anything irrespective of your color, anything. So you should never disrespect a person for his or her color, caste, religion, gender, anything. Maybe you will find there are many disabled children. Okay, you should never make fun of them. You should never discourage them. Okay, instead you should encourage them. You should see to it that they come up to equal level of learning like you people. Okay, that's the main idea of the story that the author wanted to give. Now, in this story, there are so many dialogues happening between the characters. How many characters are there? Grace, her teacher, her friend Raj, Natalie, her aunt, her mom, and Nana. So there are 6 characters. Okay, you can write more details about the character. What do you think of the character? Okay, you can also rewrite the dialogues, have a different kind of conversation with the main idea. Okay, now see, in this story there's this verb said, okay, which the author uses every time. He uses it in a different form. You should never repeat the same word. Okay, it becomes boring. So you may come out with with ideas of what can you say instead of the word said. Okay, now here one more thing is important, that is the throw of the how you're delivering the words. Like when you say good morning, it means you're greeting simply. Okay, you can say good morning mumbling voice. Okay, means the class has started, you're entering late, so you whisper to your friend good morning. Okay, I can yell and say good morning, so you want to catch the attention of your audience. Okay, so there are various ways which you can throw the words. Okay, now go through the story Amazing Grace. Okay, and find out the details of the character. Okay, and write the dialogues that is happening between each character in your own story, or you can write a similar story of your own. Have your own characters and use the dialogues. Use various forms of the verb in the dialogues. Okay, let's see how you come up with your task. This is the task for today. With that, I will sign off. See you in the next class. Okay, bye bye.